And we're back. The monthly John Ourand from Puck is the main event. John, I want to start quick. The NFL, in my opinion, should get greedy in its new deals when it opts out or threatens to opt out with all of its packages. Maybe not too greedy. I'll explain more as we go, but do you agree?
I agree. Right now in 2027, I know you said to go quick, but I can't go quick on this.
No, you don't have to go quick. I want to go quick out of the start. A
right.
way to go slow to really slow it down. Great job.
Right. I hear people clicking off right now.
You know, I was going to start off the pod. I was going to ask you about the RSNs, which we're going to get into. And I was going to lead in with just to bore everyone to death. There's no one better to have on than John Ourand. But we're going to make the RSN situation with DAZN and Main Street interesting a little bit way later in the show.
No Chris Wortley mentions today. Yes.
Let me get to the point from me. They are going to opt out. Or at least threaten to. They'll go to the networks and say, give us more money. They're all spending billions now. The issue is, especially if you talk about Fox, which is the smallest now with Paramount owning CBS, is that they could ask for so much money that they're going to put these places in a bind a couple years down the road. And to me, they want to keep the network strong from Fox on down. Now, again, get a lot of money, get a big increase. But be careful not to ruin them because, yes, the streamers are coming, but the streamers, they don't necessarily want anything. And as you've said a million times, if Amazon got out of sports tomorrow, they'd be fine.
This is going to be a really boring podcast because we actually agree with each other on this. Like, I think in the
way to sell it, John. Thanks.
This is terribly boring. Can we start again? In the year of 2026, there is not one media company that exists that wants to live without the NFL. And this has been the case for more than a decade. And I mean, people keep looking back at CBS in the mid 1990s. That was 30 years ago, for goodness sakes. And they look back at NBC at the beginning of this century, a quarter century ago. But they still left indelible impressions on these media executives that they don't want to test what life is going to be like without the NFL. The NFL, as you said on your podcast earlier this week with Mita Perel, it was 92 of the top 100 were NFL games,
yeah.
High 80s?
80, high 80s, yeah.
Yeah. If you're going to try to make money in TV, you're going to have the NFL. So the NFL is set. There are a bunch of glass half empty scenarios that I see for the NFL moving forward that I do think that they need to address somewhat. So I don't think they should be overly greedy. But when they see the NBA getting the prices that they got for the NBA, compare the NBA to the NFL, there's no comparison from a media standpoint. And the NFL is going to, if the networks can afford that, they certainly can afford to pay the NFL a lot more.
Yeah, I know. I don't disagree that they shouldn't pay more. It's just how much more. We'll get into that. We're sponsored by WSC Sports. If you want to listen to the podcast, the full podcast, AndrewMarchand.com, AndrewMarchand.com, twice weekly podcast. You said glass half empty. So I guess let me just get to the big point. So, I'm clear on this of what I'm saying is that, yeah, the NFL should get more money than the NBA. The NBA's deals are for 11 years, $76 billion. They're with the similar partners, ESPN, Amazon Prime Video, NBC Peacock, NBC and Peacock and Amazon Prime Video are now paying more to the NBA. Now, there's more tonnage with the NBA, but the NFL is king. We all know the ratings for the individual games. There's less games, of course. But when you look at it, I think you have to be careful. Again, you're going to go for the most money. I just think that we talk about the streamers coming in, and I'm going to get into some of your points about, new packages and that you made the other day on your podcast with Michael Nathanson. I wouldn't change too much. I get it that's very in vogue, and you've talked about Premier League and do it like they do it, and they haven't changed things since the 60s. I think the system really works for the NFL. You could say it's old. They've done a lot of new things and innovated in a lot of different respects, but I think the system's working. So I wouldn't try to tinker too much because the streamers are definitely want in on the NFL. They already are. Amazon Prime Video is raring to go, has a great playoff game this weekend. I think you have to be a little bit careful to tinker too much because we've said Netflix doesn't need the NFL. YouTube doesn't need the NFL. Amazon Prime is all in. probably the most likely, in my opinion, to maybe get a Super Bowl next decade. But they don't need the NFL, and I think you have to be careful with that.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And that goes into when I say that my glass half empty view of it. Look, the NFL, when they reopen their packages, are going to be fine this go round. Because everybody wants the NFL. Everybody's lined up to get the NFL, and they're scared to lose the NFL. But the thing that the NFL is doing right now, that it only started to do relatively recently, is there are just enough packages out there for the number of bidders. NFL really did really well at the beginning of the century. Was they always had that one extra bidder. They always had like David Levy at Turner that just wanted to come in and get it, or they had Dick Ebersol at NBC that didn't have it and wanted to come in and get it. And when you have that one extra bidder, it's like buying a house. The prices go up. And what the NFL is trying to do is seed a lot of the streaming companies so that they become those extra bidders. But as you just said, Netflix's sports strategy it can change, and it will change eventually. But right now, it's about big event. They're happy with Christmas Day. Maybe they'll get one or two extra games out of it. But right now, they seem pretty content. Amazon, does Amazon want an international package to go along with its Thursday night package? Would a second package on Amazon benefit Amazon or Amazon Prime in any way? I kind of question that. YouTube, they're the next big one. They want to get into sports. They haven't yet. Are they going to be available? There are a lot of question marks that are out there. And until you get the extra bidders going for the finite number of packages, then I think that there's what do the kids call it? A beige flag out there. Not quite a red flag, but it's something to be considering and maybe a little bit concerned about if you're the league.
Okay, number one, I don't think that's a saying, the beige flag thing. I think you just made that up. Number one.
You know what happens, Andrew, is when your girls go off to college, you lose all of the lingo, I think.
You think you're on the lingo? I don't think so. So that's number one. Number two, I'm going to puncture. I think there are a lot of extra bidders. All right, we'll get deeper into that as we go forward. To listen to the full podcast, andrewmarchand.com to listen to the rest of the podcast, all our archives. Some great ones. Greg Hughes recently, Mike Vaccaro recently, Ourand, you get once a month, and we got some big ones coming up in the near future as well. And then Marchand and Mita Perel by Tuesday morning.
Hey, let me interrupt you for a quick second. Greg Hughes, like you must have gotten a ton of. I enjoyed that one a lot. You got a ton of feedback.
Yeah, it's tremendous. Yeah, we got Chris LaPlaca also. Previously PR. Yeah, we like those. We'll do more of those as well. We like the